We have the most powerful RC car we've ever had in the studio before. It's the Losi Super Rock Rey. This is an 8S ready 1/6 scale 4-wheel drive rock racer. This is a very impressive model. So today we're gonna take it out of the box and we'll check it out here in the studio and go through it. Then we'll do some speed tests outside and then we'll just bash it. Here it is, guys, the Super Rock Rey. This is a very impressive model, but first things first. So this model comes pre-assembled as a ready to run. It does also include a Spectrum DX2E transmitters and the AA batteries needed. So the only required items for this model are 2 LiPo batteries with EC5 connectors, and then you'll need a battery charger. But once you add the batteries of your choice, you can enjoy the all waterproof design on the SSR. The electronics can get wet, that's okay. And the top speed of this model is up to 55 miles an hour when using 8S LiPo power. And then lastly, this model also includes the new AVC technology. So AVC, active vehicle control, is a stability management for when the rear end gets squirrely or the traction is low. So AVC can be increased or decreased depending on your needs, and it's controlled using this multi-function knob right on the transmitter. So for our 6 scale size specifications, we have 27 inches on our length, 17¼ inches on our width, 11 inches tall, and then under here, we have 3 inches of ground clearance. For weight, the SSR is 20.6 pounds without batteries. For our body styling, Losi has taken inspiration from the rigs at the King of Hammers events to try to capture and replicate a real desert racer. This body styling is very interesting. It has a really aggressive look to it. I think Losi has done a really good job on this body, even with all the little added scale bits to try to enhance that realism. So to go over some of the little bits and pieces on this body, what we have here is we have a front bumper LED that's gonna kind of just illuminate your path. We have these long travel front shocks that then protrude through our hood, and we have Fox branded reservoirs here that attach to the tower with these little rubber hoses going to the shocks. Of course, they don't actually function, it's just for looks. They look pretty nice, and they're also on the back shocks. Up front, we also have this full-length LED light bar. Then we move along the side, we have side mirrors with reflective decals inside. They're very reflective. And then moving along the back here are our reservoirs for our rear shocks. We have some fire extinguishers. There is a functional 5th tire right here that you can remove and put onto the model if you need to. Down here we have brake discs that spin with stationary calipers. And then inside right here in this interior, this is a full Lexan interior piece with decals on the driver and the helmet. And then to kind of top it off right here, these window nets are rubberized and they move. And they're super cool. And then again here in the back, we have these really long travel shocks with strap limiters right behind them that are adjustable. Our tires are Maxxis licensed. Our body schemes are also officially licensed body schemes. There's 2 of them to choose from, Raceline and Baja Designs. The body is a 2-piece Lexan design with this top piece lifting up and the rest of it being 1 piece, all attached to this really cool full body roll cage. Now, if we strip the roll cage and the body and the tires, this is the Super Rock Rey. Now, this particular model actually belongs to an AMain employee who was going through it to do maintenance and let us borrow it for this video. It's a very different model once you get the cage and the body off. Very interesting design in here. You can see that Matt, this belongs to Matt. Thank you, Matt, for letting us borrow your rig. He's done some custom work right here on his reservoir tubing. Looks pretty snazzy with the yellow shrink tube on there. Just pops a bit more. But inside the model, we have a really good look at our electronics. So what we have here is a Dynamite Fuse 1/6 scale brushless, sensorless motor. It's a 750 kV motor. Up here is our Dynamite Fuse 160 amp ESC. It's brushless and sensorless, but this ESC is actually capable between 3-cell LiPo and 8-cell LiPo. So for this model, for the battery requirements, you'll need two 2-cells, two 3-cells, or two 4-cell battery packs. Right here is our Spectrum S904 large-scale servo. This runs about 500 ounce-inches of torque. And then back here is our receiver, kind of pinned back there. It is a waterproof 6-channel Spectrum receiver with AVC. We haven't even talked about the battery compartment, so let's turn the rig around. This entire compartment here is dedicated for the batteries. We were able to fit 2 of the big 4-cell batteries, the chunkier 6400 type. 2 of those in here fit all right, not a problem. So without the body and cage on, you can see this rear end setup a lot better. It is a solid axle with a 4-link setup. Look how beefy these metal links are here on the top. Of course, these are our top 2 links, with the bottom trailing arms being our other 2. We have a big old burly sway bar that's attached here on the back, and there is another sway bar for the front. Of course, this model features fluid-filled gear differentials. There's a gear diff here in our rear solid axle. There's another in the center, and there is a third in the front. Of course, the rest of the drivetrain features metal gears. We also have metal 20mm hexes on each of our axles. We have these really big or smooth oil-filled shocks. We see our steering links here are, again, those really thick diameter aluminum or steel links. Not quite sure on the material, but they are metal. And then our chassis here is a 5mm aluminum plate on the bottom, which is then joined with another aluminum plate here on the top. All right, guys, we're back in the studio with the Super Rock Rey, and we went out and did all the driving that we needed to do. This truck was so much fun. We had a really good time. As you can tell, the truck's super dirty. We went out and bashed it, we thrashed it, we did some speed tests, and we broke it. So first thing that we did, we went out and did speed tests. We did 2 speed tests. We wanted to test the speed on a 6S and then the 8S. So first, with the 6S test, we used these Gens Ace 5300s. They're 45Cs with EC5 connectors on them, and we went out with the 6S test. We were hitting about 40 miles an hour. I think that was the tops, 40 miles an hour. The truck on 6S has a lot of torque, lots of bottom end grunt, but on the top end it tacks out pretty quickly, and 40 miles an hour was the top speed on 6S. Now for our 8S speed test, we used these ProTech 120C 6500 milliamp battery packs. These fit in the battery compartment pretty well. So these particular packs require an EC5 lead, so we had to solder up 2 leads, but to get these to fit, it's pretty easy. We stuffed a foam pad in the battery compartment first, shoving this battery in second, adding another foam pad after this battery, and then the final battery goes in last, with it being staggered just a little bit so you have some room for your bullets and your wire. So the results on 8S, we were able to hit a top speed of 54 miles an hour after 3 passes. The car is advertised at hitting 55 miles an hour, so we pretty much hit it. That's good enough. The 1 mile an hour difference isn't gonna make a whole lot, because a vehicle like this is made to have so much bottom end torque and bottom end grunt. That's really where it excels on the terrain, just hammering through almost any obstacle that it comes across. We also found out while bashing that the Super Rock Rey is extremely tough. Sort of. We had something fluke happen. We went out with Matt's truck and this truck to bash here locally, and our truck ended up breaking within the first 15 minutes or so. All right, we just hit some rocks pretty hard. It looks like just the left side lower suspension arm broke, kind of around here at the hinge pin area. Nice and clean. We just hit the suspension arm just right with a rock. But we didn't let that break slow us down. We still had Matt's truck to use, and we just bashed it up and down the trail, sometimes hitting rocks so hard square on that the truck would front flip or cartwheel. And in the end, with Matt's truck, after all the bashing and flipping and cartwheeling and hitting rocks, it never broke. And he bashed his car pretty hard. There is one other thing though that we did break, although we didn't break it the day we went out and bashed it. Matt's car has also broken this part. So it's the front shock tower cross brace. The shock tower is made of this side and this side, which are joined with this cross brace in the center. Well, the cross brace just breaks right down the middle. It allows the left and right side to kind of pull apart like a wishbone, basically. So after I noticed this broke, I just put a zip tie all the way around this cross brace, holding it together. And then the following day, we went out and bashed it and did that really heavy bashing, and it did not break apart. The zip tie did not break apart. There is no more damage. That zip tie seems to be a good remedy to hold that together. And as far as I can tell, there is no company at this time who is making a metal cross brace for the shock tower, so that would be a great option to see from manufacturers in the future. But when it's all said and done, the Super Rock Rey is a really impressive model. It's definitely for your RC enthusiast who's on the higher end of skills and budget, but it offers a lot. It's such a basher, a brute that can handle almost any terrain and with ease. Even when it hits something at power, it just seems to bounce off and keep going. So if you give this car enough room to be free and you take a step back and give it the respect it deserves, it's one of the most amazing RC cars out there. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you have any questions on the Super Rock Rey or anything else we talked about in this video, we'll have some links down below. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave that for us down below as well. My name is Brett with AMain Hobbies. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. When you get going. You all right?
Yeah.